Hi everyone, it's Anne. Welcome to another new moon reading. This is for our new moon in Taurus, which is also a partial solar eclipse that will be visible only from a remote southern part of the Pacific Ocean in the southern hemisphere. So we won't be able to see it in the northern hemisphere, but we will feel the effects. And this is a continuation of our eclipse series that started in November of 2021, which was a Taurus eclipse that we are continuing the progression of. This eclipse is in Taurus also. It's a lunar eclipse, and like I said, it's partial. So we're going to see or those that can see it will see the horns of the moon, which reminds me of the horns of Taurus and the horns of Aries that we just came out of. But in particular, the horns of Taurus and also of Mercury, which is in Gemini right now, which is a very auspicious place for Mercury. It's the ruling planet of Gemini, and so we may be experiencing clear thought and an abundance of ideas because Mercury is very well placed in Gemini, and we still have a bunch of planets in Pisces, so our emotions and our connectivity is still very primed, especially with Jupiter being there, and now Venus as well, which is the ruler of Taurus. So Taurus is a fixed earth sign, and shout out to all my Taurus friends out there. We know that Taurus, the stereotype or the image, the character of Taurus is the bull that's usually seen resting on the ground, and it's very much at peace and very steady, and Taurus is known as being steady, stubborn sometimes, but also very grounded and very connected to the physical world. So that can be helpful for those of us that tend to live in other dimensions, having some of this grounding energy that we're experiencing now. But with an eclipse, it's a reset. The eclipses are always a reset. What we're accustomed to is obscured temporarily. In this case, the sun is obscuring the moon temporarily, and we experience a reconnection with that element or that energy. So with the strong Venus energy, at this time, I feel that we may be experiencing a resetting of our values and what we love. And we may have been observing a shift coming, but this may be a marker of a resetting of what is truly valuable and loving for us, or inspiring of love for us. So I welcome you to think about that, and also consider what was going on for you last November. November 19th was the time of the last Taurus on this axis. The eclipses always happen on an axis of the opposite signs of the zodiac. So Scorpio and Taurus are opposite. So Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, which is about destruction and endings. So, it's both an axis that is bringing us into new territory changes, and also resetting our values. So with that, I have already shuffled these 9 times. Taurus is the third sign of the zodiac, but 3 is not enough times to shuffle. So I shuffled 9 times, and I'll do it one more for good measure, and then let's see what the cards have to say. Okay, so we have, the Hermit, speaking of number 9, then the 8 of Cups, and the 6 of Rods. So The Hermit, number 9. This is a card I've been thinking about a lot lately, as I've moved between being in groups of people and being solitary. And it's always a card I think of when I spend time alone, which is a very healing time. This Hermit card, the image of the Hermit, is in some ways an image of our return to our godlike state, or our divine state of perfection in and of ourselves, without needing anyone or anything. Not in, I don't need anyone kind of way, but in a I am perfect on my own kind of way. And the perfection is the action that the Hermit performs by choosing to isolate and choosing to be in balance by listening to the messages from within and observing that only the self can find balance within the self. In other words, we can't fix what's wrong with us by seeking outward or external solutions. Often we need to figure it out on our own. And then often once the answer is found, then we might venture outwards or exit the cave, as the Hermit does, in order to find what is needed. But to figure out what is needed, oftentimes it's coming out of an introspective experience, and that's what the Hermit performs. So I welcome you to join me in honoring the Hermit within each of us, and for also remembering that the balance to the Hermit is our connectivity with other people. And again, Pisces season is highlighting that for many of us. So this is the card for our foundation right now. And then what we had next was the 8 of Cups. So again, the water element is showing up. The cups represent the water element, or the realm of emotions and our relationships. And then number 8 has to do with strength. It is the strength card in the major arcana of most decks, at least most modern decks. And in that, it brings ideas of, or I should say feelings of solid emotions, or steadfast emotions. And this can also have a darker side, which is stubborn emotions, or stuck emotions. Emotions that might be suppressed or repressed and unable to be released. But on the other side of the spectrum, we have emotional strength, and being in a position to be able to withstand hardship and withstand sadness, or opportunities for grieving, and sort of riding the wave with grace, and being able to emotionally support oneself and one's community with strength, with emotional strength. And this card has been interpreted in so many ways. One is that this individual has stacked up their cups and feels safe and secure knowing that they're there, and is then able to turn away and to walk away. And in fact, I've even heard that this image of the moon is an eclipse. So take that as you will. But this image also, of course, and I think it may be obvious to many of you, can bring ideas of somebody turning away out of sadness, or turning their back on the past. So all of that may be true. I welcome you to take what serves you best and leave the rest. But in any case, I usually prefer to interpret this card as being about both emotional strength and strong emotions. So a situation where our heart is strong, and we can be mindful of how we guide ourselves in order to experience a more pleasant or less pleasant situation. And so having that consciousness with how we guide our emotions can be the key here. So I welcome you to, like I said, take that as you will, and just look at this time now as still a time of high emotions, but also flowing emotions. And as I said, with the reset of the Taurus eclipse, we're experiencing a resetting of everything connected to our emotions and our physical world and our values as well. So there's that. And then the Six of Rods. So this card did show up reversed at first, but I like to look at it upright just to get a basic idea of what the card is. So what this is a card of the fire element. The rod represents the fire life force, the spark of life, the energetic grain within every living thing. And it's expressed by the blossoming branch here. And so what we're looking at is a person riding in a victory parade. They have this wreath of victory, and in I believe in the Rider-Waite deck there are people around, but here we're just seeing the suggestion of people in the rods all around. So this person is being celebrated. They are coming into a place of having won a battle, presumably, or having accomplished some great feat, and they're now being celebrated by their community. So to just take that as it is, this looks like we're moving into a time and a place where we can enjoy some celebration and some reward for our hard work and our perseverance and our faith and our rightful application of our own personal energy. If we were to read this as reverse, this could be all of that, but shrouded in a veil of doubt or self-doubt or complications. So I welcome you to really allow yourself to honor yourself in however you deserve. And I know that many of us tend to be our own worst critics. So this is an opportunity to remove that unnecessary criticism and celebrate ourselves. And any other way to interpret it is really up to you. I feel like this just is a statement about the fact that we have all been through a lot and are going through a lot, and looking at the world, we're all going through a lot, but there are infinite minor victories that deserve to be celebrated. And as we move forward through this time of transition, it's a nice time to look back and recognize all that we have accomplished. So with that, I will leave you, and thank you for joining me. These were, again, our three cards: the Hermit, the Eight of Cups, and the Six of Rods. I welcome you to reach out to me and let me know what you feel about this reading, and let me know if you would like a private reading with me. And I'll see you next time for a full new reading. Thanks, everyone. Bye.